Hey guys, it's Monday, and I am very happy to be posting Life Changes Everything's first full video. I'm going to be this channel's Monday, which basically just fulfills my lifetime goal of being Christina Horner. So this week what we're trying to do is sort of introduce ourselves and explain where our story begins. As many of you are probably aware, right now Lauren and I are in the process of planning a wedding. We're going to be getting married about a year from now, which kind of makes this YouTube project perfect in a way, because right now we have a year planned for this channel, and I'm going to be getting married in almost exactly a year. One thing that's really been on my mind lately is sort of how people communicate with us about the wedding, whether it be our friends or our families or, just random people on the internet. We have a lot of people talking to us about the wedding. Correction, Lauren has a lot of people talking to her about the wedding. My good friends know me very well, and they know that I'm putting a lot of thought and a lot of effort into planning the wedding, so they do ask me questions, but beyond that, I haven't been really receiving many questions from people. The comment that I'm receiving most from people is, "You're the man, you just need to nod your head and do whatever Lauren wants." And I wonder, why is that? It's sort of this, I guess, assumed gender dynamic that a wedding is basically the woman's day, and the man just kind of steps aside and really isn't engaged in the process beyond just saying yes. Now, I think it's all crap, and I'm going to point to Exhibit A. It's actually my only exhibit, but it's the one that I'm most familiar with. The rock and roll industry. Now, this is not a political statement at all, this is just a factual statement, but rock and roll, the industry from the beginning, has been very male-dominated. And yet, the vast majority of music is about love. So in a sense, aren't the rock and rollers of the world kind of proving that men invest just as much time and thought into relationships as women do? Granted, I think society sort of influences us to talk about it in different ways than women. There is, some sort of pressure to kind of remain detached and unemotional and strong about it, but come on. I think when you get right down to it, we all kind of have the same feelings. Like, when we're in love with someone, you really care about them, and we really want them to be happy. And we're willing to put in the effort to make that happen. And it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, or a man who loves a man or a woman who loves a woman. I think love kind of renders factors like gender irrelevant. It is extremely powerful, and it makes you do crazy stuff. For instance, where my story really begins is first grade. My first crush ever in my entire life was in first grade. It was on this girl named Jen. She was a classmate of mine, and there are a couple things I remember. This was my first time ever having feelings for anyone that were anything more than, hey, let's go eat bugs. So basically everything I did was ridiculous. The most pathetic attempt to get her attention, I saw her walking ahead of me on the playground at school. She was walking side by side with her friend, and I just booked it and started running straight for them and kind of burst through in between them, tripped, and then skinned my knee and ripped my pants. When you're young and you're making your first attempt at romance, it doesn't always work out so well. And when you're in middle school, it never works out. So I'm just going to skip all that. I had some attempts at dating in high school. I think that they were all failed. I think basically I just had a lot of crushes, and the interest was almost never reciprocated. I did have one girlfriend who I actually did not like. She was like one of the few people in my high school who I didn't have a crush on. We dated for like 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks later she broke up with me because she told me that kissing me was like kissing her brother. I think one of the things that prepares you for adult relationships is sort of failing in younger relationships, and as you fail, as you sort of gather up this resume of failure, eventually you reach a point where you're actually well adjusted. And thankfully, as I reached that point, Lauren was there.